Since it was first revealed that 2's, a Twister sequel, was in the works, there have been many questions about what this sequel will be about and who it will include, and a recent update finally gives some answers, while also raising a totally new issue. Twister is a 1996 natural disaster film that follows a group of storm chasers following a tornado, but in particular, a couple that is on the verge of divorce. Twister 2, also called 2's, was first confirmed in 2022 and has recently finished filming. Twister's new cast includes Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar-Jones, and Anthony Ramos. During an interview with Vogue, Glenn Powell recently revealed some pertinent information about his new project, 2's. He explained that 2's is a completely standalone story. This means that, though it is a sequel to the original Twister, it does not include any of the original characters. In particular, Powell said, "It's definitely not a reboot. We're not trying to recreate the story from the first one. It's a completely original story. There are no characters from the original movie back, so it's not really a continuation. It's just its own standalone story in the modern day. 2's is better off without major connections to the original movie." Bill Paxton looking at the sky in Twister. Ultimately, Glenn Powell's comment about 2's is an exciting update. It is not often that a movie is turned into a franchise and the sequel is essentially completely unconnected to its preceding movie. Typically, especially these days, film franchises try hard to build up lore and history for audiences to get attached to. But, it is exciting that 2's is not following this trend. In many ways, it will honor the essence of Twister, which is spontaneous and individual. Plus, this unique move may gain the film more traction. It is good for 2's to stay separate from 1990's Twister because the franchise's stories don't need to connect. Twister is about an isolated incident, a natural disaster that one group of people experience face to face. In many ways, it would be cheesy to try and bring back these characters and throw them into another similar disaster. Instead, it makes sense to try and tell a similar story with a new cast. Therefore, audiences get to experience the same thrills of Twister's original natural disaster but with entirely new characters who will shake up the narrative. Standalone or not, will enough people care about 2's? Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt look at an approaching tornado while standing in a cornfield in Twister. However, Twister's individuality does raise one significant problem. Without strong ties to its original movie, 2's might not be able to interest audiences enough. In general, Twister is not a blockbuster. If anything, it is a cult classic, and the type of movie that many watched but later forgot about. In this way, making a franchise out of it is already risky. However, now that 2's is not bringing back any of the old characters, there might not be enough of a connection to bring in Twister lovers. Therefore, 2's will have to rely on itself alone to bring in audiences.